What's up, guys, and welcome back to Electrix Moto. Today, we are going to talk about the compatibility with the E-Ride 3.0 and the 2.0 so you know what parts will fit your bike. All right, so let's talk about the things that do fit your brand new E-Ride 3.0. And if you guys have not picked one up yet, I will leave a link in the description for you to grab one of your own. We will also put a discount code in there for you to save 5% on anything you buy off the site. So the first things first, your stem and your bar mount is 31.8 millimeters, which is very common. So you will be able to find just about any bar, E-moto bar will fit the factory stem. And then what you may need to change is, depending upon which bar mount you go with, you may have to get a bigger display that's a little bit wider so it fits around like a Warp 9 bar mount. That's what we got for this bike. We have Warp 9 bars and we have a Warp 9 bar mount. Those are the things that we're going to be putting on this bike first. All right, so another thing that you're probably going to want to change, at least we're going to change ours right away, is the foot pegs. All of these foot pegs fit just like the 2.0. So if you have a Sur Light B or you have an E-Ride 2.0, all of the peg brackets are the same. So you don't have to worry about not being able to find foot pegs. Also, the drop bracket. What we ordered for our 3.0 from Warp 9 was a drop bracket to bring those pegs down about an inch. That gives taller guys or bigger people more control with their legs, and it gives you a lower center of gravity. And that all fits, and it's all compatible from the 2.0 right over to the 3.0. Okay, so moving on to the back of the bike, what we're going to be talking about now is your seat cover and your rear shock. Let's start at the seat cover. This seat is the same exact seat from the 2.0. They're identical. So you can get any seat cover that you use on your 2.0 or your Sur Light B, and it will work on the 3.0. Now, talking about the underseat suspension, that is the same geometry as any other 2.0 or Sur Light B. So if you have a shock that you like to run in the back of your bike, although this shock is upgraded, it is much beefier than anything that comes from the factory, you can change that out without any problems. All right, so let's talk about the sad part. The sad part of the stuff that does not fit, that all of us want to change regardless of how good a bike is from the factory. And the first thing is the wheels. Even though they come in an 18-19 setup, which it definitely changes the way you sit on the bike and how it feels while you're riding, nobody has an aftermarket solution for these wheels yet. I'm sure it's going to be coming. I doubt it will take very long for Warp 9 to release a set of really crazy, awesome wheels for this bike, but right now, nothing is going to fit that you can find in the aftermarket. Another thing that you're going to have trouble with is your front forks. Because the way they did the brake caliper setup on these forks and the distance between them, it's going to be really hard to find a fork, and we have not found one yet that is going to work on this bike. So unfortunately, you will not be able to upgrade your forks right away. But this does come with an upgraded Fast Ace fork. So it is well beyond better than the 2.0 and the Sur Light B. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's much better than the MX-5. We had MX-5s in stock that we rode, and this bike feels way better than that bike. I can't even put into words how much different it is, but this bike really does excel in a lot of areas that the MX-5 could not keep up with. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is the 58 tooth sprocket and the 420 chain. From what I can tell, this 428 chain does not have any O-rings in it, which is really good for anybody who changes their chain immediately. That means this chain will probably stretch less and last a little bit longer, and we're pretty stoked on that. Now, we did buy a bigger sprocket for the back of our bike. We thought it was going to be bigger. I did not know it was coming with a 58 tooth rear sprocket. We got a 54 tooth, so we'll probably swap that on a different bike. I don't know if we'll ever go up to a 60 or 62 tooth. We're going to just keep it how it is right now. The biggest reason we would change our sprocket, and why you should probably change your sprocket from this sprocket, even if it's a 58 tooth sprocket, is because of the weight. These are made out of steel, and obviously aftermarket Warp 9 is made out of aluminum. I will leave some of those in the description for you to check out if you're interested in changing your sprocket on your E-Ride 3.0. All right, so one more thing to talk about before we wrap this up is if you're doing frame wraps or you plan on doing any type of graphics, this frame, other than it being beefier in certain positions on the frame, is the same frame as the 2.0. So if you have graphics kits or you have a wrap or something that you like on your 2.0 or your Sur Light B and you want to kind of roll it over and get the the same concept done for this bike, that will not be a problem whatsoever. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, or you want more information about this bike, we are going to be starting our 3.0 bike build on the channel probably next week. So tune in for that, subscribe to the channel so you can come along for all of that stuff. And we will put a 5% discount code in the description so you can buy all the stuff that we talked about today from us or someone else. But hopefully if you shop with us, you can save a little bit of money. So we will see you guys on the next one.